If you want to succeed in life, truly succeed, you must begin by confronting one simple truth. Most people never reach their potential because they are too busy watching others live theirs. It's a quiet addiction, this need to scroll, compare, envy, and imitate. We compare their wins, their pace, their status, and then quietly ask ourselves, why not me? But the answer is always the same. While you were looking outward, you abandoned what was inward. Every second you spend studying someone else's life is a second lost from building your own. Every ounce of energy spent wondering how they did it is energy stolen from doing what you were meant to do. Success does not come from watching. It comes from working, from daring, from deciding. Napoleon Hill taught that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, a clear, unwavering vision of what you want and why you want it. But that clarity is impossible when your focus is scattered, when your attention is hijacked by the noise of the world. You cannot build a mansion on borrowed blueprints, and yet, that's exactly what comparison does. It tricks you into following paths never meant for your feet. So, today, we reclaim what is yours, your purpose, your potential, your power. In this video, I will guide you through the 5 inner transformations that define all great achievers. You'll learn how to stop comparing and start commanding, how to silence distraction and amplify your focus, how to develop unshakable belief, how to persist through failure, and how to walk with purpose even when the world offers you none. You're not here to chase someone else's dream. You're here to design your own. And the first blueprint starts now. 1. The power of definiteness. Imagine for a moment that you are a captain at sea. The fog is thick. The currents are strong. Without a compass, you drift, pushed and pulled by whatever tide is strongest that day. That is how most people live. Drifting. Napoleon Hill described this state as the greatest enemy of success, aimlessness. A mind without direction is a ship without a sail. It will move, but not by choice. It will go, but not toward greatness. So what changes it? One decision. The decision to define what you want and refuse to settle for less. Definiteness of purpose isn't just a nice idea. It is your anchor. It is the mental clarity that turns chaos into strategy. It takes all the noise of the world and filters it through a single question. Does this move me closer to my goal? Without that filter, you'll drown in distractions. With it, you move like a laser, cutting through doubt, temptation, and procrastination. Successful people don't have more hours in the day. They have more clarity in their minds. So what is it for you? What are you here to build? And more importantly, why? Write it, read it, repeat it. Because without purpose, your efforts are motion without meaning. And with it, even the smallest steps become part of a masterpiece. 2. Self-belief, the invisible force. Now let's talk about the real secret weapon, the force behind every skyscraper, invention, book, movement, and empire. It's not money, it's not talent, it's belief. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't believe in them, no one else will. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the inner agreement between who you are and who you are becoming. Every great achiever, Carnegie, Edison, Ford, possessed an unshakable belief in themselves, not because they were superhuman, but because they made a choice to back themselves, even when no one else would. Hill wrote that, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But he didn't stop at conception. Belief is the bridge between thought and action. It is the decision to keep going when the world says stop. The truth is, most people quit not because they fail, but because they stop believing. They let doubt become louder than their desire. They confuse slow results with no progress. They forget that every oak tree was once an invisible seed beneath the soil. You cannot afford to doubt your roots. Not when your vision demands a forest. Your belief must be bigger than your fear. Your faith in the outcome must be stronger than your need for comfort. Because belief is not a mood. It's not a phase. It is a practice, a discipline, a habit. Speak like you believe. Walk like you believe, and watch how the world begins to believe in you. 3. Resilience, the unseen advantage. There will be days when nothing makes sense. Days when the progress feels invisible, the results non-existent, and the dream you once believed in begins to feel like a burden. These are the days that define you. Napoleon Hill warned of what he called temporary defeat, the moment that causes most people to quit. But the difference between temporary defeat and permanent failure is how you respond. Lincoln lost more elections than most people enter. Edison failed thousands of times before a single light ever glowed. These men were not special by accident. They were special because they refused to stop. The truth is, success is not a straight line. It's a spiral, upward, yes, but full of falls, stumbles, and sudden reversals. And that's where most people lose the game. They mistake the fall for the end. But failure is not a verdict. It is a message. It's the universe asking, how bad do you want it? And your answer must be action. Resilience is not just about bouncing back. It's about rising stronger, smarter, sharper. It is built not when things are easy, but when everything seems against you and you move forward anyway. Every challenge is a test, not of your talent, but of your character. Will you fold when the applause stops? Will you retreat when the road turns dark? Or will you, like every great person before you, take one more step forward? Because that one more step, that is where resilience lives. Part 4. Adaptability, the discipline of evolution. If you stop growing, you start dying. The world is changing faster than ever. Technology, culture, economics. What worked 5 years ago might already be obsolete. And the people who win in the long run are not the ones who cling to the past. They are the ones who evolve with the future. Napoleon Hill emphasized that accurate thinking, clear, adaptive reasoning, was one of the essential traits of the successful. Why? Because rigid thinking is fragile. It breaks under pressure. But flexible thinking, adaptive, humble, curious, bends and then bounces back stronger. Henry Ford revolutionized transportation not by copying others, but by constantly learning, adjusting, and testing new approaches. The Model T didn't appear in a flash of brilliance. It evolved through continuous improvement. Ask yourself, when was the last time you challenged your own beliefs? When did you last read a book that stretched your mind, or sought a mentor who could expand your perspective? Growth is not found in what you already know. It lives in what you are still willing to learn. Those who adapt dominate, not because they have all the answers, but because they are humble enough to keep asking questions. To adapt is not to surrender your values. It is to refine your approach. You can change your method without changing your mission. So stay fluid, stay curious, stay hungry. Because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment your decline begins. 5. Purpose, the energy that never runs out. Passion is fleeting. Purpose is forever. You will not always feel excited. Motivation will come and go, but purpose, that deep, unshakable why, that is what will carry you through. Napoleon Hill wrote extensively about the burning desire that must fuel your every action. Not a vague wish, not a casual hope, a fire, a reason so compelling that it lifts you when nothing else can. Purpose is what turns effort into energy. It gives meaning to the grind and dignity to the struggle. It makes pain productive and turns obstacles into stepping stones. Purpose is what makes people stay up late, get up early, and push through rejection after rejection. Because what they are building is bigger than the setback. But here's the secret most never hear. Your purpose isn't something you find. It's something you decide. You choose it. You give meaning to the mission. And once you choose, you must protect it. Because every day, the world will tempt you with shortcuts, distractions, and shiny objects. It will try to trade your purpose for popularity, your legacy for likes. But if you stay loyal to your calling, you will rise above that noise. Purpose isn't found in noise, it's found in silence, in solitude. In the honest moments when you ask, "What do I want my life to stand for?" And when you answer that with courage, your life begins to transform. Closing. The master key is you. Let me remind you of something you may have forgotten. You were not made to blend in. You were not made to drift, to copy, to follow. You were made to lead, to imagine, to build, to create. Everything Napoleon Hill taught points back to one idea. You are the master key. You. Not your circumstances, not your past, not your setbacks. You. Inside of you is the power to think, to decide, to believe, to act, and to persist until reality reflects your inner vision. So today, choose to stop watching others. Choose to stop comparing, doubting, hesitating. Reclaim your time, reclaim your focus, reclaim your mind, define your purpose, fuel it with belief, fortify it with resilience, sharpen it through adaptation, and live it with unwavering intention. You were not born to be average. You were born to be intentional, to be unstoppable, to be great. And now you know the way.